All aboard. Join the clan, you cheeky scrubs. Do what you want cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate. Yah ha, fiddle dee dee. Downloading add-ons is alright with me. Do what you want cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate. You are a pirate. We got us some links to lead us to the DLC that's locked up with DRM. But easy to bypass. We'll break past the locks and get a hand on some.
Press this booty.
Download all the add-ons. And then we run like hell.
That took longer to edit than I thought it was going to take. Hello there everybody, welcome to episode 6 of Train Sim News. Daniel here, and today I'm going to dedicate this entire episode to the discussion of piracy. And because of that, I'm not going to mention anything about this route until next episode. I have so much to say about this route, both good and bad, but I don't really see too much of a point discussing it now, especially because I'll end up overflowing you guys with such a huge amount of information. I'm just going to dedicate this episode to piracy, and next episode I'll talk about that one alongside other things, okay? Now, a few weeks ago, I created a survey to gather information about what people's current views are regards to Train Simulator and piracy, and seeing, if it's a threat, what do you think of it, do you pirate, etc, etc. The survey is now closed, obviously, but I've now correlated all the information and seeing what the results are. In total, I got 25 respondents, so if you did respond, thank you very much, I appreciate it. And now we're going to take a look at the results in slightly more detail and see what the results are, etc, etc. So the first two questions that I asked were, what is your gender and how old are you? They were fairly self-explanatory questions, and I just wanted to ask them to see if there was any form of correlation. I looked at the results in further detail and I didn't really find too much. But as you can clearly see there, all the results, all the people who responded were male, and the majority of the people there were between roughly my age, late teens, mid-20s, some of them over, but I just wanted to see if there was any major correlation and stuff, but I didn't find too much. The next question that I asked you was, do you download or pirate add-ons for Train Simulator 2015? 60% of the people clearly see here said no, so the majority of them don't pirate from Train Sim. 28% people said yes, and 12% actually said that they used to in the past, but they don't do it anymore. So we can clearly see that the majority of people don't pirate from Train Simulator from my survey. Question 4 was, which developers do you pirate from the most? I allowed people to select more than one answer if this was necessary, although I don't think that many people took the option. I put down a list of any of the devs which I thought were popular enough. I also gave the option for an other, please specify if that was needed, although nobody took that option. As you can clearly see, the majority of people who don't pirate, 60%, but at the top, 36% of the people who do pirate from Dovetail Games, your RSC. Unsurprisingly, you should not be surprised at all. And Armstrong Powerhouse and JustTrains at joint second. Digital Traction, understandable. One person from Virtual Railroads, a couple from Chris Trains. So not too much of a surprise there. Question 5 was to see if the respondents only pirated from Train Sim, and if they pirated any other forms of media. As you can see, only one person actually responded and say, oh, no, I only pirate Train Sim content. But as you can see there, those who do pirate, they pirate music, TV shows, films, other games. Some people admitted to downloading DLC and additional content not related to Train Sim. And a handful of people said that they download other software and some of that, like Photoshop, Vegas, 3ds Max, etc, those kind of things. No one took the other, please specify here as well. On question 6, I asked you guys, if you pirate, what is your main reason for doing so? And as you can clearly see there, excluding those who don't pirate, the majority is financial reasons. The game is just too expensive. It kind of is. I can't really blame them. Next one is that the quality isn't justified by the price. I slipped in a few other ones there. I feel that a company doesn't deserve my money, and the pirates offer a better service, which is actually a point I'm going to go back to later. And one person admitted to, they say they download an add-on, then they'll buy it in the future to see if it's worth it, and if they're pleased with what it offers. I got 4 responses on the other, and they're pretty entertaining in their own right. So one person said they're being fed up with being lied to, jumping through hoops and whipped off. understandable with the modern society of games. One person, you know, admitted that they download albums that they already purchased in other forms like records and cassette tapes. That's perfectly understandable, I agree with that, that's perfectly fine and justified. One person says that they believe all media should be free and every artist on Patreon will find this person and kill them to death for having such a destructive opinion. Not me on your hands. One person here, they say they can't be bothered to enter credit card details. And, I could understand that. I can understand people not being too confident paying online. To be honest, you know, I don't really blame them to an extent. I mean, on Steam, you could set it so that once you buy it once, with your credit card details, when you fill it in once, they'll be automatically stored unless you say not to. And if you have PayPal, it will automatically save it for you. But not everyone has that option, so I can understand that to an extent. Still gave me a chuckle when I read it though. On question 7, the next question I asked you was, on a scale of 1 to 5, how much of a threat do you think piracy is to Train Sim's future overall? In this question, if you didn't really get this one, I'll explain it. It's basically, do you think piracy is going to kill this game eventually? And, you know, the higher the number, the more likely you think it's going to happen. As you can see, the weighted average is 1.92, which roughly is, you know, roughly low threat, noteworthy threat. That's where most of the people are experiencing. Some people feel it's no threat whatsoever. Some people feel it's a high risky threat or something like that. And some people feel it's the biggest threat ever known, LOLXD. So, diverse opinions there. Out of all the questions on the survey, question 8 was the one that I was most interested in. I asked you a simple yes or no question. Would you say online piracy is theft? And a whopping 68% of the people who answered said yes, they'd say that. I'm actually going to debunk this little claim here after I've looked at the survey and stuff like that and give it some more explanation, because I don't believe online piracy is in any known way theft without appealing to the dictionary. But yeah, that one's really interesting to see. The results at question 9 were really interesting to see develop, because as you can clearly see now, it's at 8, 9, 8. So 8 people said no, 9 people said depends, 8 people said yes, but at the time it was 8 on all of them. And you can see it's almost a perfect average. People honestly are in agreement, so that it depends on the severity. But I'm actually kind of surprised how many people think that, yes, all pirates should be punished for their actions. I'm kind of surprised about that, but yeah, I can understand people saying, it depends on the severity, etc, etc. So this one was really interesting to see the results develop. Question 10, the last question. Have you ever felt bad for pirating add-ons if you have ever done so? And the majority of excluding those, they say they don't pirate, nobody said that they feel bad every time they're pirated, but the majority do say that they do feel bad for the smaller independent devs. The ones that haven't actually been doing that much of a harm to the community, or let's say the game overall. A few select individuals did say they do regret nothing, which I don't blame them at all. So those were the survey results, so I have to say thank you very much for filling in the survey. What? Why are you looking at me like that? Oh, you want to hear my opinion on piracy and what my stance on it is? Alright, I'll do so. Prepare yourself. With the current business model that this game has, and other business models that other media giants have, regards to entertainment, I think piracy, online piracy, is completely acceptable. Up to the point where I personally think that you're better off pirating this game than actually buying anything from it. Do you honestly think I'd be that mad to buy everything on this godforsaken video game? Oh, guys, you crack me up. I stopped buying from Dovetail the week the 91 was released. I bought it and I tried to enjoy it. I tried my absolute best to enjoy and somewhat even make it decent to drive. I even tried replacing the sounds with the Class 86 and 87 pack, but no, it was crap. It was awful. So I raised my hands in the air and said, alright, if you're going to treat me like that, then fine, I won't buy from you again. You don't deserve my money. You have lost trust in this customer, okay? I wasn't even a loyal customer at the time and I still didn't like them, but still, that was the last straw I had. And, like I said, any DLC that is released by them, I'll download it from the Pirate Bay or something like that, If it's good, I'll keep it. If it's bad, well, I'll just trash it. If it's bad, but somewhat drivable, then I'll see if I can modify it. If my modifying effects don't really go too well to plan, I'll just trash it. Don't be fooled into thinking that a simple meaningless grudge to you is the only reason I pirate from this game. Oh no! To put it simply, the pirates offer a better service than the devs. They do. No one wants to admit that, but the pirates offer a better service than the devs to the point where, it's just so much better and more efficient for the average person just to pirate from this game than to buy anything. Allow me to demonstrate. The amount of DLC on this game is absurd. It is absurd. I think the only game that I can actually think off the top of my head which comes anywhere near this level of DLC is Destiny. But just take a look. Like, if you were to buy all the DLC on this game, it would cost you £3,000. That is absurd. Now, I know many people are gonna get their keyboards out and type in, "You don't have to buy everything." That does not justify the price. If I walk into a Ferrari dealer and say, "Oh, these cars are all expensive," the dealer can't just say to me, "Oh, you don't have to buy all of them." No, there is a reason why Ferraris are expensive. They are built using expensive materials, they are much more powerful than a typical car, and they are faster, and they are also less practical than a typical car, just for aerodynamic purposes. When I bought the game in 2011, I paid £25 for it, from what I remember. Routes cost £25 as well, and trains usually cost £12. So once you bought one route and one train, you've already spent more than the bloody game already. Well done.
But wait, there's more.
After you've invested money on buying something as simple as one route and one train, you'll realise, okay, the sounds are rubbish, the lighting is crap, how do I fix this? Then obviously you'll need to turn to third parties, but remember, this is Train Simulator 2015. You know what that means? Even the sounds are payware. Oh yeah, payware sound packs. Because why not? Yeah, why not? You know, with most games, it's usually the developer of the actual game exploits the community. I mean, they still do here, but it's also a case where the community exploits the community. Just take a good look at this. I mean, really? You have to pay £3 to improve something as simple as lighting? Oh my god!
But wait, there's more!
Best not to forget your daily dosage of payware scenarios, payware reskins, payware modifications, and... I give up! Really, I don't know what else to say. This game's business structure is ludicrous, only serving to put everything that you'd actually want behind unnecessary paywalls after paywall after paywall, meaning that you'd have to invest a lot of money and time just to get this game to be somewhat realistic. So now, you have two options. You can buy all of those add-ons that you want, only to hope that they're not bad and hope that the Armstrong Powerhouse or Steam Sound Supreme or the Train Team Berlin will come down from the heavens and fix it up for you whilst giving you a hand job at the process. Or you could pirate everything and get it for free. I wonder which one I'd take. So now you see what I mean when I say that the pirates offer a better service than the devs, thus explaining why quite a fair amount of people pirate from this game. But I know what you're thinking. You're going to say, "Daniel, you're stealing money from the devs. How dare you steal, you thief." Sorry to rain on your parade, but it's true. Piracy is not theft. I'm guessing that some of you have already seen this little image pop up on the internet here and so often. Well, to an extent, it is actually true. The best example that I can use to support my claim was the United States Supreme Court case held in 1985, Dowling vs. United States. In this case, it distinguished that bootleg phonorecords did not constitute stolen property. Instead, and I quote, "Interference with copyright does not easily equate with theft, conversion, or fraud. The Copyright Act even employs a separate term of art to define one who misappropriates a copyright." The court said that in the case of copyright infringement, the province guaranteed to the copyright holder by copyright law, certain exclusive rights is invaded, but no control, physical or otherwise, is taken over the copyright, nor is the copyright holder wholly deprived of using the copyrighted work or exercising the exclusive rights held. So to an extent, piracy falls under the terms of copyright infringement, more so of theft. In fact, it's not theft at all. You can't steal something that is just in a completely digitalized form. If you download the class 321, you're not stealing from the Armstrong Powerhouse. There's nothing to steal in the first place. Even when you're using these terms, the pirate doesn't claim that they made the 321. They claim that they downloaded it and they're sharing it for everybody else to have for free. So it's not stealing in that sense. They're not claiming that it belongs to them. So yeah, piracy is not stealing. I can even provide an extreme example if you really want me to. In this example here, I'm playing Team Fortress 2 on the ×10 map and I'm playing as a sniper. I'm using a sniper rifle, which is a really dangerous weapon on the game. It's really powerful as well, if you know how to use it right. You've seen a few examples. Now, the main thing in this game, at least, is just pretty much just team deathmatch. We're just killing each other, pretty much. That's the whole point we're doing here. I am killing other players with a dangerous weapon. I'm even helping other players, and the game awards me with points when I get killed and when I help my other teammates get killed as well. But why didn't the police come every single time I kill someone and say, "You are under arrest for murder"? Well, it's a video game. That's why. You can't arrest someone for killing somebody else on a video game. I mean, that would be just absurd. Video games are a completely different medium to real life, and trying to apply the same laws in real life as you would in a video game would just cause massive problems. Which is why I personally think laws like copyright, for example, need a complete redoing, because they are extremely out of date. And I mean, they are ridiculously out of date. So far, we've distinguished that piracy is not theft. In fact, it's a really broad definition of copyright infringement, why people pirate in the first place, and the fact that the pirates offer a better service than the developers. Are there any measures to mitigate piracy? Yes, there are, but do they work? Hell no! A way that many game developers have tried to mitigate piracy is a method called DRM, Digital Rights Movement. There are many versions of DRM. The one that Train Simulator 2015 uses is the Steamworks one, which is nowhere near as intrusive as most common ones. DRM does not work, because the main purpose of DRM is to basically stop pirates from illegally copying the game. But the main problem is, during the process, the normal consumer, the legitimate consumer, is usually penalised in the process. A perfect example includes SimCity. If anyone remembers that game, the one that EA released not too long ago, it had a very weird form of DRM, which meant that you could only play the game online. They're trying to say, oh, it prevents piracy. Well, no, it just means that it inconveniences people because they have to be online even to play with a single player. But remember, this is EA, so you can kind of guess what happened involving EA and servers. That is a perfect example of what happens when you screw up DRM, even though it's already screwed up in the first place. With the exception of Dovetail and Steamworks, nobody else in the trade sim community, be it third party or not, uses any form of DRM with their products. Except one, that being Mr. Chris Longhurst, Chris Trains. I mentioned that I wanted to do an interview with him, and this is one of the things I'm going to ask him during the interview, if I get a chance to do it. The main gist of the story is, just over a year and a half ago, Mr. Chris decided to implement some DRM on his products because a few people are trying to ruin everyone's pleasure. I mean, don't get me wrong, the pirates are still normal people, like me and you, but I don't think they want to interrupt people when they're having a wank. Let's be honest, that's just plain rude. As a result, when you buy something from Chris Trains now, you have to fill in this box with a code that you have to copy and paste. No, tell a lie, you can't just copy and paste it in, you have to copy and paste it in sections! Oh great, what is this, 2009? God, I don't want to do all this, just let me install it and go! I bought your train, is that enough? Do you have any trust in your customers anymore? Wanna know the funniest thing about this DRM? It's supposed to prevent piracy, right? Well, all the pirate has to do is copy those LIC files I created once you install, then put them up, distribute them with the UR file alongside the rest of the train, and bingo! The DRM is bypassed. So in essence, you've created something that only inconveniences the legitimate users, yet the pirates can just bypass it altogether. Congratulations, you have failed miserably. This situation really reminds you of the fact that when you buy a DVD, you're forced to watch those really stupid anti-piracy propaganda films. That, you know the ones, that the piracy is a crime, the FACT ones. I remember that Disney did a few as well. Yeah, if you pirate them, you get to bypass them altogether. It's just really confusing. I don't see how this is preventing piracy. You're just inconveniencing legitimate users and wasting their time. So, is there a way to at least reduce the amount of piracy without using any forms of stupid DRM? Yes, there is. I shall tell you how to do that. It's actually very simple. Provide a service that is better than the pirates. It's that simple. If you get rid of this game's atrocious business model and replace it with one that is actually beneficial to the community and doesn't put paywall after paywall after paywall for no reason apart from just to boost profits and stuff like that, people will be more inclined to buy your add-ons. Put some effort into it. Make people feel safe. You know, even giving things like the option of refunds. I mean, yeah, you can get refunds on Steam, but none of the other devs give you the option to deliver refunds. Make the customer feel safe and happy to do business with you, instead of just relying on luck, on the fact that you might be good, or they never make something bad. And once the community starts realizing that, and less people start cashing off, and more people actually get together and, you know, work out how to make this game good, the amount of piracy will go down. It won't go 100% completely down. You will not completely eliminate piracy. If you put your 5 pence in the can, the customers will start doing so as well. Remember, treat your customers with respect, and they'll treat you with respect. So now that we have that out the way, there is now only one more thing to discuss. Remember I said that piracy isn't really talked about that much in the community? Well, there is one dev that does actually have the balls to mention about piracy. JustTrains. Now, if you've looked in any of the back of JustTrains' manuals, you might see this little page right here. Now, at this point, you're probably going to look at me and go, okay, now you're going to debunk this page. No, I'm not going to debunk this page. I've got something else much better to debunk. Not to mention, most of the things I want to say, regards to something else that I'm going to mention in a moment, it can be easily transferred to this page here. It's very similar. Now, if you look at the bottom of this little picture here, you'll see a link to, well, not really a link, just mentioning about JustTrains' website about piracy. And if you look on JustTrains' website, you'll see this little page right here. This is what I'm going to debunk. However, I will admit that it will be boring listening to my voice as I read this raw text. So instead, I'm going to use text-to-speech to do my bidding. It's not the same text-to-speech system that I use to do the intro. It's slightly different, but hey, it works. I'll link both of them in the description if you're really desperate to try them out. Right, let's go!
Every year, thousands of pounds worth of illegal software is sold in the UK at car boot sales, markets, by mail order, and from other outlets by unscrupulous traders. This software has been illegally copied without the approval of the game developers.
Opposed to illegally copied with the approval of the game devs? No.
Manufacturers or distributors, and comes with no money-back guarantee, instruction manuals or packaging.
Check out the enclosed instruction book.
Look, if I didn't make that joke, 200 people would have done it.
The only attraction is that it is cheap, often only a fraction of the cost of the genuine item.
I have to give you credit there, because the Pirate Bay does have some good offers. You can get every season of Breaking Bad for a 100% off discount, which is pretty neat. Not even Tesco could match that.
The success of the computer games industry has made it a prime target for criminals. It is estimated that more than £3 billion is lost every year by the UK industry to software pirates, which results in lost jobs and lost development opportunities, both locally and nationally.
Yeah, about that £3 billion a year thing, where's your source? Do you have any sources, like graphs, tables, newspaper articles, news reports? Hell, a Daily Mail article will be fine here. Give me some evidence before you start sprouting out some numbers.
Consumers have no recourse under law for faulty pirated goods. Pirated goods are often mixed with obscene material. There are proven links between many pirate organizations and dealers in drugs and pornography.
Yeah, this wall of text that I'm reading, it's getting really dry. Could do with some source! That gives you an idea. Next year, April Fools, I'm going to upload Newcastle to Edinburgh on the Pirate Bay. In fact, it'll actually just be a Rule 34 rip of every character I can think of. Including Teri, because I like Teri.
Sales of pirate software are often used by terrorist organizations to fund terrorist activities.
Great! You had to use some fear-mongering now, didn't you? This is how you get people to listen to you these days. Oh, are you gonna download? Oh, you're supporting the terrorists. You're gonna be worried about the terrorists. The terrorists! If the terrorists win, then we lose! Gotta worry out for the terrorists! But yeah, some sources would be nice instead of just telling me about the terrorists are gonna win. I don't know how downloading from the Pirate Bay automatically equates to Al Qaeda being able to afford a new copy of Call of Duty Black Ops 3.
Pirates sometimes try to justify their activities by claiming that paying the full price for a genuine game is a rip-off and lines the pockets of the fat cats with your money. This is simply not true.
Well, to be fair, you can't really trust any of the devs anymore, even JustTrains. I mean, Mardenshire was crap, Newcastle to Edinburgh felt rushed, and they made the West Somerset Railway, and to differentiate them from the Dovetail one, they called it the fantastic West Somerset Railway. Yeah, that's totally not self-aggrandizing.
There are several issues here. It costs a great deal of money and effort to make a flight simulation in the first place.
Flight simulation? This is Train Sim. This is Train Sim 2015. You wouldn't just copy and paste this from your Flight Sim website, would you? And not even have the courtesy to edit it out, so at least, just change one word. Flight to trains. I mean, that's blue rail levels of laziness. We do not go there without at least encountering hell twice. This is really scary.
This includes rewarding the programmers and artists whose creativity contributes so much to the products we all enjoy.
The only reward that the person who did the signaling for Mardenshire should have gotten was a ghastly gibbous and some pyrovision goggles.
A pirate simply pays a few pence for a gold disc, places it into a CD writer.
Gold disc? CD writer? When was this written? 2004?
Clicks the record button and makes over £4 profit per sale for his efforts. This is often more profit than the publishers and developers make from the sale of an original title.
Dear Lord above, where are you getting these numbers from? You have provided no sources, no pieces of evidence. Get me some evidence! This is too much to ask. Screw the Daily Mail, I'd be willing to read a Daily Express, or hell, even News of the World. At least I will show you're trying.
The people who really suffer from game piracy are the artists, programmers and other committed development staff.
So piracy doesn't affect those who are not committed. Okay.
Piracy directly affects these people and their families. Loss of revenue to the games industry through piracy means many are losing their jobs due to cutbacks that have to be made to ensure developers and publishers survive. Some of the most highly regarded, hard-working and creative.
Your skill at self-aggrandizement is unparalleled.
What was the point of all those adjectives to describe all those people? Do you want me to feel emotion for them? Well, I can't. I don't even know who they are. I mean, you're just talking in a broad range, but still, I guess I'm just not creative enough.
People in the UK are losing their jobs while the pirates line their own pockets with your money. Where's the justice in that? It's not just copying software that is against the law, owning copied software also constitutes a criminal offense, so anyone buying from software pirates is also at risk of arrest and prosecution.
Meanwhile in Sweden...
This is in addition to the risk that the pirate product will be of inferior quality to the official release and often contain mechanisms that degrade its performance.
I'm just going to show this image here because I'm really getting bored of saying the same thing over and over and over again. So that's the end of the main article. Towards the end they had some other pieces of information like an agency you can call if you find some idiots selling London to Faversham in the back of a Volvo XC90 in Norfolk. You know, those kinds of people. Yeah, and they also have a bit of an area showing just how in-date our laws are in regards to modern technology, infringements of rights, etc, etc. The main problem which I have with this article in general is the fact that it doesn't really properly identify what kind of piracy it's talking about. Because there are multiple versions of piracy, and the one that they're talking about in this article is actually the selling and manufacture of counterfeit goods. Even though I support the Pirate Party and I support piracy online, I support online piracy, I do not support manufacturing and selling of counterfeit goods. I think that is completely unacceptable, and I think charges and fines should be placed against those who do it. However, this article kind of makes out as if that kind of piracy is all piracy. They don't mention anything about online piracy, and because of that, they're using the worst possible form of piracy to describe all piracy. Thus, it's being a straw man argument. It's a logical fallacy. You can't really take that more seriously. Not to mention, they don't really provide that many sources, as I mentioned numerous times, so many of their claims we're going to have to dismiss them as false. I mean, I have every right to. They don't provide a lick of evidence. Oh, remember the fact that I joked about it being written in 2004? I was actually close. I did some research by looking up on the Internet Archive, and it turns out it was actually written sometime between 2002 and 2003. Take a look at this. I mean, it has not been updated for the best part of over a decade. I really can't take them seriously. You know, to be honest, there is actually a way of writing up a page like this, and not to mention doing it really well. Take a good look at here. This is ImageLine. ImageLine are a company that specializes in music, and they created FL Studio, which is a software that I really love to use. But this page here, I mean, it does miss a few sources here and there, but it's just better written. It doesn't tar all forms of piracy with the same brush. It merely goes for online piracy, which is the more noteworthy of the two. Most importantly, I really like what they use as points here as well, especially number 9. It makes you think, and I like that. Of course, I don't condone with it completely, but hey, it makes me think, and I like that. Woo! Finally, there we go. It's all done. That's the longest episode I made for the new show so far. Nearly 32 minutes now. Thank you very much for watching. If you filled in the survey, again, thank you very much for filling in the survey. It's been really useful information. If you have any other things you want to discuss with me regards to online piracy, I'm more than willing to debate with you about it. Not so much the selling and counterfeit goods and stuff like that. I don't really have too much knowledge in that field, but online piracy, I'm good with that. I'll be able to more than welcome to debate with you regards to that. If you have any other things you want to discuss, leave them as comments. Any other criticisms, again, you're all welcome to comment. You will not be censored for having a different opinion. This is the new show, not Blue Rail Studios. Thank you very much, have a good day, and I'll speak to you guys later. Goodbye.